RTR Rags to Riches. My name's Josh. This is going to be a reveal of a vehicle that I just picked up recently from High Desert Hobbies, Palmdale, California. I've been a customer of them for 20 years. Great people, great time. You should look them up sometime. This is going to be the reveal of the vehicle that I've been waiting for. I think a lot of people have been waiting for. And we're going to see if it's going to be a success for RedCat or a sink. And hopefully you'll enjoy this video. Thank you. Hello again. I'm gonna dig into my shorts here, my jorts. Don't pick on me for my pants. We're gonna open this bad boy up, pull the old Swiss Army knife out, and I like to refer to it as my MacGyver tool for all you older folks that know what MacGyver is. And let's see what we got here. Well, would you look at that? A Founders Edition BedDancer. Now, I walked into Palmdale High Desert Hobbies and they had these just on the shelf, and I was surprised. I was genuinely taken back because I didn't plan on buying this car. I didn't plan on getting a Founders Edition. I do own multiple RedCats, so this will be the third in the club / collection. And I'm excited about it because I didn't know a few things about it. It comes with a couple different options, like it came with the different set of wheels that are here on the back, which we'll get more into detail when we start opening this bad boy up. And I haven't decided if I'm going to wrap it or color it, but there are a few details we'll talk about when I get it out of the box here to see if I want to add to the detail / scale of it. Because it looks pretty plain to me. Hopefully they come out with a little more detail, or maybe they're in the decal stickers. Very nice packaging, just like the 64 Impala I have here. The box comes with the inner graphic background, so if you want to set up a display at home, you can do that, which is fun. I don't have enough space for displays. I don't have enough space for things like that in my man cave. But being that this is the Founders Edition, I'm assuming the box will probably change once they continue that. I really don't know the facts about that. Don't quote me on it. One of my favorite things to say, don't quote me. Maybe that'll be a catchphrase from now on. Don't quote me. Or something similar to that. They got a basic, looks like owner's manual, repair manual. They got the decal sheet. So let's just really quickly take a look at the decal sheet because nobody's really gone into detail. At least I haven't watched a lot of reviews on it, I'm gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So we got a lot of Founders Editions decals here, which is actually pretty cool. Didn't know that was happening. Got some gold, I guess, if you were to go with a different paint or different scheme. You got the silver ones here. And you got some, looks like just some white contrasted ones. And like just the graphics. So that is that for the decals. Now the owner's manual, obviously you're going to have parts catalog, it looks like. We'll go a little slower for the cameraman, but it'll be basic instructions. It's a nice catalog. Even got colored pictures in it for the people that like to pick color, for the crayon eaters. Looks like it's going to take 4 AA's, which I have those in my jorts right now, so I came prepared. I don't think they'll be in the box, but we'll find out real quick. And yeah, I'm not going to read this right now. So let me get this out of the way. Now in comparison, it looks like the transmitter is going to be spot on for any of the previous RedCat radios. Like I have the one for my 64 over here, and it's looking pretty. Packaging's very good, very secure, so you shouldn't get a damaged vehicle or remote. Very high density foam. And it is a almost spitting image of the RedCat earlier released radio. So now I'm gonna have to label these so I don't get that confused. So this is the one from the 64, and this is the one from which is now the BedDancer. So I'm gonna just set that there. We're gonna set this one down. So if you're familiar with the controls, that'll make it much easier for you, but I think the BedDancer is way different. Now look at this. Look at this. Look at the orange on that. I guess if you're a Denver Bronco fan, you might be up your alley. But okay, so right here, it looks like those are tie downs See, I've not seen anybody talk about this. So if you were to remove the shell, looks like that's possibly an option there. And it comes with a plastic lug wrench. But I guess that's for the Daytons. So that's actually, because this one has knockoffs. So that's actually kind of cool. It has knockoff, it has Dayton cap wrench for that purpose. And here are, let's get a close up on this. Oh, it's got center caps too. Check that out. So it's got center caps for the wheel inserts here. And those are actually the fastening nuts because, you know, just like anything RedCat, they're going for that molded detail. So there's a threaded brass insert in there. And those would be what you call a 5-hole mag. I'm not even sure what that wheel's name is. Maybe there's a name for that. We'll look that up another time. And then just basic USB charger accessories. Let's get this little orange monster out of here. Oh, the head's coming up. Can't grab it like that. Can't grab it like that. Here we go. And there's a nice set of Daytons there. In scale, I don't know if those would be 13s. Those look like they're bigger than 13s. More like the original traditional ones here. That would be 13s on a vintage lowrider, where these BedDancers were in the 80s, obviously 90s, and they became really popular then when I was a little guy. Now I'm an old guy, I just wish I could have one for myself, and that's why I buy toys instead of real cars. Actually, I buy cars too. We'll go into that another day. So, I don't know if this is a finished paint. It looks like it is. I haven't done the research on it. This was my first time seeing it. It's exciting. It looks to be that the mirrors, if you crash into the side swipe the wall, it'll fold in at least, like a real car. For me, I can't tell if it's painted or not, because this is more of a polystyrene plastic. Don't quote me on it. It's a hard plastic versus a Lexan, like the traditional lowriders or most RC cars. So this is coming off with more like a vintage Tamiya, like a sand scorcher or a clodbuster with the hard resin plastic versus, which is actually nice because they usually are more detailed than what you get from the Lexan bodies. And as from what I can tell, the inner wheel wells are chrome, which is a nice little extra feature. I don't know what's going to be standard for this truck when it comes to the release of the regular edition versus the Founders Edition. And one thing I want to do, and I'm going to tell you right now because I just saw the decal sheet, because I haven't got to see this yet, but in person, details are details. Now, if you come in close to this, you can see here that like the window trim isn't painted, and for me that would be black, or you could highlight it in chrome, and like the door handle, the key tumbler. Sorry about that, I'm a little nervous. Wink, wink. And just like the lenses aren't painted, which this was a thing in the 90s and the 80s, and you might like that style, but for me, I want to see the red and the orange. I want to see the color in it. So that is cool because you can customize it to look more like a traditional without just being a set style of fashion on this. But look at underneath here. I noticed this truck is heavy. For as little as it is, it looks like it's painted, because when I look down the body, I don't know if you'll be able to see it from your angle, but I can see the wave in the paint, and it looks like it is a painted and finished body. I can't really confirm or deny that yet, because either it's the way it flashed out of the molding, or it's probably not painted. I'll have to contact RedCat and see, or maybe somebody knows. Leave it in the comments, please. But the frame rails are painted. The frame rails are very much steel, and it's heavy. It's got some girth. Now I'm leaving my paw prints all over this poor truck. I was trying to keep it clean, but we'll see what happens. Remember, we're going to see if this is a success for RedCat, which I already know it's going to be, but you know, it might sink as a product. Some things come, some things go. And I'm going to tell you right now, first impressions of it is it's beautiful. It's a beautiful little truck. I'm actually more happy with it in person, in my hand, versus sitting on it for the last month, because I had a heart attack and I haven't been able to do this. Don't feel bad for me. Lord willing, Jesus will keep me safe. With that, that's my initial, you can see I'll talk a little more because the pumps actually have looks like it's maybe a brand name of pump. I'm not familiar in the lowrider scene. I do love a lowrider, and I've always wanted a lowrider, and I'm always searching them on Facebook Marketplace, but boy, I tell you what, I've got too many projects in life. So, a lot of chrome, and exciting. I like that they put the on-off switch. This is another thing I'm observing between the standard RedCat Lowrider chassis, is you can access the on-off switch without having to stick your finger up underneath the body like on the 64. I'm always feeling around for that thing and feels like I'm gonna cut my fingers, but it's just so aggressive. Yeah, and it looks like the steering servo is mounted front forward. What I'm curious to see is in the future if you're actually gonna be able to put hydraulics on this vehicle, if you were to upgrade it, like at least control it by mounting a servo in the front, at least getting a little front action. But there's not a lot of room left in this thing, so we're gonna come back to this with some action shots and some driving shots, and maybe you'll even see a picture of in the thumbnail I'm planning on doing with this. Just that's gonna be down the road here in a second, or in the water. Thank you. All right, a few more details on this. I know I just cut away, but we come back right now. Get a shot of more of the inner workings of the suspension. Now, I've seen something here that really caught my eye, really just brought me in. So I was hoping that there might be a future to upgrade it. Now, if you look at these cams, there's these lobes here that it's got a pivot point, and looks like pivot points, not just for the shocks and the arms, but there might be something here. This might be a ride height adjuster, because there is a screw in the center. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Let me come in closer for the camera. But if you see what I'm talking about, there's maybe future possibilities for somebody to customize the servo. There might be a mount spot possible underneath the 730, I think, or is that 3.8? No, 3.8 you can. Unfortunately, it has something on here that I'm not a fan of. It says 2-in-1, and I'm assuming that means speed control and receiver and all that fun stuff all in one, which I don't like. Now, maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's telling me that if something breaks one or the other, then you're kind of screwed. You're SOL. And as for another surprise, I don't run these plugs on any of my cars, and if I do, I make an adapter. And I don't think I have an adapter for an XT because I usually scalp these. I scalp them right off, and I put a Dean's plug / T plug on there because I have a fleet of many vehicles and I don't run these. Now, I have the bigger plug like this on the low-C dirt bike that I've made an adapter for recently because the ready-to-run battery pack took a dump on me. So I'm going to use this little guy here for the test run, but this is a Dean's plug on an old Venom battery that I use for testing and operating, so we shouldn't be able to get it. I'm going to dig through my box of little tricks here. Random left cut over leads from dead batteries. I don't throw anything away. And I make my own connectors or adapters. So let's see, I need that plug. Oh, there you are. I sit over here. So and this is probably even the wrong one. People are probably yelling at me right now, which I just want to get it up and running for the day, and then I'll probably just dissect this ESC, which I don't want to, because then if I cut it and remove it, then I might void the warranty. But I might take my chances on just building an adapter for it for a while. And look at that, come full circle. I got 2 adapters to end up in a Dean's plug. Don't yell at me. I know I'm building heat resistance there for all the guys that understand electricity. And I just did that, and the card already came on. So I'm going to unplug that because I don't have batteries in the radio yet. But I did just pull those out of my jorts. 4 AA's, which is nice about these modern radios. I say modern, but they already been around for 20 years. These 2.4 gigahertz versus the old megahertz. Which hopefully in the near future I'll end up getting some little trivia on the megahertz radios. I just found another deal at a swap meet, and we're going to bring it back from the riches, or back from the rags to the riches. Beautiful truck. and I hope to share it with you here in the near future. So here we are. I got batteries in my radio, and we've got power. So now, before I load the ESC up like that, I'm gonna flip the switch, plug her in, and then look at that monstrosity. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Look at how old that connector is. That's an old one. We're gonna throw this under here. I'm not sure what size battery is required for this car or what they recommend, but I'm gonna try and tuck it all in so the cab goes on comfortably. Because this is a fiasco for me. I just want to play with it. I just want to play with my toy. So hopefully that'll work. Power up. Okay, we got steering. You always want to grab the steering wheel first before you grab the throttle. And then just in case, I should have probably had it in the air so it didn't take off. Well, I already see something I don't like. The wheels are a little wobbly, which is kind of interesting. I'm kind of a pet peeve of mine. See that? What is that? Not saying the quality's not there. Maybe I just got to take the knockoffs off, or maybe I got to tighten them up. But right out of the box, I'm like, what? Who wants a wobbly axle or a wobbly wheel? I don't. The Tamiya Big Rigs, the 14 scale Big Rigs, I've got one, now I've got two. The tires themselves kind of wobble on those, and they're not that fun. It just drives me nuts. Little pet peeves, little things. Just sharing my quirks. So there you go. We got a truck. Let's throw this body on here. It is a clipless body. And it came off fairly easy, but I'm not sure if it's going to stay on that good because there's literally just kind of like came on and off. And I started from the back, worked my way. Okay, so here we are. Now we got basic functions. Let's see what happens. Like I said, we have steering and we have forward control. So it looks like it's going to be, like I said, the other RedCats had the levers, you throw them up. So let's just throw the first one and see what happens. Okay, that's the tilt back. And look at that. We got to get this up in there real quick. Got to get this up real quick. I got a lead, and there's plastic on here. But that's what I'm getting at. Look at that. Let's get this up in there. Let's see what the second lever does. There we go. We're up. That tilts the front and back. Okay, so the first two are the front and back, and the two next ones here are the, looks like it's off to the side. So there might even be more control. Okay, all right, so that's up out of the way. Now let's get some of this factory packaging off here, which is actually beautiful. The fun little detail they put in here. You can come in here close. Take a look at that. You can see that up in there, the little Optima batteries. You see that beautiful little setup? Beautiful, actually. I love that the yellow's down there. Get this packaging off. And looks like I got my LiPo battery sticking and hanging out there, which we'll see if we can tuck that. Tuck that without breaking it. There we go. Boop. Like a glove. Alright, now the battery tops look like they're painted. Get rid of that trash. I don't want to go too far. Okay, so overall impression, pretty cool. Now, do we want to figure out more of the controls? Everything's maxed out to the up. So the other ones, if you hit the buttons here, it sends it the opposite direction. So there you go. That's a fast motion for up and down. You hit this drum here, it brings it forward, which you're going to collide with your cab, so remember that if you're playing around. And then I'm assuming if you tilt it forward, it's going to smack. Oh, look, it had a little more throw to the back. Okay. Yeah, what's it doing? And just like that, she slams down. So you release it. 1, 2. And yeah, that's pretty quick. That's pretty fun. And then you can do a little side to side. Let's turn the truck a little bit like this. We can go side to side. Let's bring that camera in a little closer. Let's get some close action on that so you guys can see the front and the back here, just the angles of everything. So when you throw it all the way up, it does go off to the side, which I didn't notice in some of the other videos I've seen. So you can see that it throws it up and over, but you know, you're limited by the fact that it's an RC car. And it looks like it's like a cable actuator. And I don't know how many servos are actually running this. We'd have to look under the hood again. So you don't want to, you always want to start with the left switch. It looks like the very left, which is your guys' is right, but because if you don't do that first, it's going to smash. If you want to get close to that, you want to bring it in. But you can play around. If it smacks a little bit, it's all for entertainment. But if you want to be an ace, you want to be a professional, you don't ever smash your body parts. Unless you're into that thing. Sort of thing. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. So it looks like there's this actual servo mounted here. It looks like a nice little aluminum servo. So there's a servo here, and there's an actual servo right there. You want to see that? It's a nice little aluminum, nice piece. They're nice pieces. They're beautiful. There's another one there. So there's 2 servos there, and I think what I saw under the cab was 2 servos. So it looks like, I guess there's 4 servos because there's 4 channels up there. And as for the back, see, come here, real quick. Oh, check this out. Check this out. So you got another adjuster here, which I haven't gotten into the instructions because I'm trying to share with you guys before the daylight ends because it's a beautiful day and I'm just loving it. I almost quoted Mr. Rogers there. I almost said it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. So with that, that's exciting because that leaves an open port for possible adjusters or a way for this to cam and move. I'm gonna have to play with that so you guys can find out later. And yeah, it's an amazing little piece here. I'm loving the RedCat for that. I love the detail, but I don't like the wobbly wheel. Don't hate me for it. Let's see what this wheel does. That wheel tracks a little better. A little wobbly. And you know something else I see in here? Maybe I'm seeing things. Maybe it's just an optical illusion. But it looked like maybe when the chrome was sprayed on the wheels, the chrome was, but I think it's because the wheel wobbles and the shadow changes. So I'm a little crazy. Okay, well that's the initial review of it. Does this hood open? It looks like it's opening. See, I need to look at it a little more. Oh, look at that, like a glove. I thought I broke that. Check this out. Check it out. Check it out. You got a little valve cover in there, a little air intake. Look, it's got wing nut stickers for the air cleaner. Got a little DC battery, aka 12 volt for people that actually know what cars are doing. A little radiator cap. So this is fun. This leaves a little room for detail and painting. You know, I might paint the battery top yellow like the Optimas, match it, but it won't be shaped like Optima, so we'll look that up. Oh, and it's even got a sticker for the fuse box and relays over here. So it's got some fun details, but like you could paint these louvers in, or paint the valve cover and wipe it off like you do with model car grills or something. Very cool truck. And it looks like it has the option to put LED lighting kit in. I'm sure you can light it up. The interior is very basic. Oh, the radio's gonna yell at me because I'm not playing with it. It's RedCats are screwy like that. And now the hood won't go back in. There we go. So you gotta push it in and then down. All right, well, let's bring everything down. Might want to play with it softer. I'm a little bit of a brute sometimes. But there he goes. I'm gonna put my MacGyver away. Very good, thank you.